Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alright, I'm going to skip because I know the Sheriff Department has to leave, so I'm going to go with the second addendum that we had was the discuss the possible action to remove the following from the Val Verde County Policy Manual, Section 3.04, compensatory time, policy application overtime for law enforcement officers will be earned after 80 hours actually worked. Section 3.04, compensatory time, overtime compensation, grant-funded programs may be paid if allowed by grant. Okay.
What's the problem, Juanita? Matt!
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
The issue has been, we do have one grant administrator that would like that language removed. Our other grants are fine, they're okay with our language, but they just want this language removed.
But why?
Why?
What's the problem?
They feel it's too much of targeting federal funds to have that language in there.
But how does it affect everything else, all of our other employees?
All of our other employees, with the exception of Sheriff Department personnel, it does not affect them.
Motion to approve?
There's a motion, I need a second.
Second.
All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 4-0. Thank you. Thank you. All right, next, we're gonna do these. Item 4, discuss possible action regarding the budget for the 63rd, 83rd District Attorney's Department budget for fiscal year 2016-2017.
Do you have a budget?
Yeah.
Judge, Commissioners, if I may, before we start on that, if I can present you with a couple items, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Please. Just if I may. If you recall, one of the items we had at one of our prior meetings, and I think it was on February 13th, if I recall correctly, there was an item that was approved, I think it was item number 48, that was on the agenda at that time, which is for the Commissioner's Court approved of and authorized reimbursement of certain monies back to the county. Do you recall that?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was item 28, or 48 rather, on that agenda.
Mm-hmm.
So at this time, if I may, there's the map. I'm going to go ahead and tender, and I would like the minutes to reflect that I'm tendering 2 cashier's checks to Mr. Aaron Rodriguez, the Val Verde County Treasurer, for one check from Texas Community Bank for $122,263.89, for another one for $42,602.93 from BBVA. These 2 checks total the $164,866.82, which was approved and authorized by Commissioner's Court back on February 13th. I'm hereby entering that to the County Treasurer.
Thank you.
And I'd also like you to know that we have, at this point, we have already closed out our accounts at Board of Federal Credit Union. I actually have the 2 cashier's checks with me. We have not been able to get it over to one of our depositories, county depositories, simply because we've been extremely busy lately. But we have made an effort to do that, and I'll be glad to work with Matt and with Aaron to make sure this is done this week, so we can decide where we're going to take it. My inclination at this point is to deposit all these monies with Texas Community Bank,
Okay.
simply because we already have 3 accounts there, and I just want to have some uniformity there.
Mr. Bagley, before we continue, did you ever get the resolution from the district, just to use our depository?
I did, sir.
Okay.
It's already been filed.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've got a copy of it, but I do, and I'll be glad to.
Judge, I have a copy.
Okay.
So it's a certified copy, but it goes in the district court's records.
Okay.
That's correct.
Good.
There is one slight mistake. I've already discussed that with Judge Trevin, and he's probably going to amend that in the near future.
Okay.
If I may, at this point, I'd also like to, should have enough here. 1, 2. So we have somebody MIA today?
That's not one.
No ones.
may, I'm going to present you with basically a copy of, I'll keep one for myself and I'll explain it to you. These are several documents that I think will be helpful for each one of you. Good morning, Jeff. Make sure I have that here. And what I'm presenting you really is just a packet for your information. The two checks that I presented to Aaron a while ago are listed on the first document, which is dated March 27th. Again, that's reflecting back to, I said it was February 13th. It was actually March 13th.
Right.
I apologize for the error. The next page is one of the things that I did, and I took it upon ourselves to help Matt and help Aaron, is we went back in and we were able to determine when these accounts were opened. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the account that we had at BBVA was actually opened in 1977. So that's going to take some tracing. So that was even before Tom Lee's term. But what we did is we tried to simplify this, especially for financial purposes, and we went back in and we made a listing of all the deposits, the major deposits in each of the two major accounts, especially reflecting the contributions from Valverde County and on the other account from Carroll County and from Kinney County. So I wanted y'all to have that as well. In other words, we were doing some work trying to help you guys out, making sure we can kind of determine where these monies came from. So hopefully that'll help you a little bit.
Mr. Bagley, the totals that you show, are those totals in the account or totals?
No, those totals are deposits.
Over the years,
Over the years, yes, sir.
from 2012, but
That is correct, sir. And again, that one account from BBVA was opened in 1977, so it's gone through, I think, 4 or 5 different banks,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
We actually got a letter indicating that as well from them. I will tell you that BBVA is not very pleased with me right now, knowing that I'm fixing to
well,
close that account.
they weren't mad, they weren't happy when we closed all of our accounts.
So, anyway,
Get over it.
we will take care of that. We've already sent a letter to them requesting to close it as well.
Well, they're lucky they had them as long as they did.
But
Yeah,
I wanted to provide this to you, to give you some backup information so you can kind of understand what we've been doing. And again, I apologize that I haven't been able to get over to BBVA, but it's been extremely busy. I'll give you an example. Just last night, we were contacted, I don't know, it was probably close to around 10:30, 11 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, by one of our law enforcement agencies here in town, and Mr. Andrade and I stayed up till probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, helping them get a evidentiary search warrant and arrest warrant taken care of so we could effectuate some arrest of somebody yesterday, really, well, this morning, you could say, for aggravated kidnapping charges. So those are things that we still are doing with law enforcement, and we're making ourselves available for that.
Mr. Bagley, who prepared these?
We did in my office,
But who?
my office manager.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to talk to the county treasurer, the county auditor, or did she talk to them about these numbers?
No, these are just things that we pulled them from the accounts, and we got it directly from the banks, respectively. So again, these are just for your reference. I wanted to make sure that y'all knew that what we're doing. As a matter of fact, if I may, I'll also tender to both Matt and to Aaron a copy of the cashier's checks, which I just tendered to Mr. Rodriguez. And again, we have these other ones that I had from BFCU, which are approximately, I'll give you the exact amount. So there's one for $10,418.87, another one for $7,754.37, which we need to go and put in a proper account or switch it over to TCB. Okay? So I wanted to make sure you understood what we're trying to do there. So hopefully that clears up some information or questions that you may have had.
Mr. Bagley, I'm not questioning at all, but I get confused with numbers, everybody knows that. The cashier's check that you gave to the treasurer, those are those a reimbursement of some sort or to open a new account?
Those are reimbursement, as the county commissioners approved of, and we can open up a new account. Or
there were monies that we had
fund.
paid to the district attorney that was never used.
Okay, so it's reimbursement to the county. Okay.
Which was approved the last time on March 13th. Okay. If we may proceed to the other items.
Sure.
And I'm sorry, I just wanted to give you all an understanding of what we were trying to do and some of the background work that we were trying to do on these matters. In other words, I haven't just been sitting there not trying to avoid these matters, we've been looking into them, but we also have been dealing with court and trying to get everything else up. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I mentioned to you, Judge, the other day is that on our percentages, our numbers have gone up, and we're now at 92% across the board. And that's something that we've been able to do since January 1st. So I think
Good.
that's a good sign as well.
Okay, in your research over the years, Kenny and Terrell, have they kept up with their,
According to the information that I have and the numbers that they were provided, yes, sir. The only one we're having an issue with right now is Carroll County, but we have an agreement with them concerning their monies for the rest of this fiscal year, as far as how they're going to pay it. It seems to me in the past, it started out when you're looking at the deposits and how we received them there at the office, or how they received it, I should say. It seems like everybody was paying it in full at the start of each fiscal year, and then they kind of slacked off, and times got tough, and so they started making payments. But one of the things that we were talking about at our meeting that we had, that subsequent meeting we had last time, you wanted me to provide you with some information, especially where the monies from Valverde County were at, and where they went, so that's what I did. So hopefully that'll make it a little bit easier on you.
And what types of accounts are you going to open at Texas Community? Is it-
Whatever I'm advised by our two gentlemen right over here.
What, not trying to jump ahead here, but what is our goal here?
Well, my goal, sir, is, that's a good question. Good question. My goal is to make sure that we're working in uniformity and we get back to where my employees can be taken back to the county. And I'm trying to bring everything to your attention. Now, one of the things that I want to bring to your attention as well, on some of these checks, or especially ones that I'm reimbursing the county on, some of it includes what's known as apportionment funds. And apportionment funds are really for the benefit of that individual office.
I don't understand that.
Okay, but I'm still giving that money back to you guys so y'all can see that we are trying to actually act in good faith and transparency to give you everything that we've had.
Are the apportionment funds for this fiscal year?
Yes,
So it was money you received this fiscal year?
that is correct.
You're returning money you received this fiscal year to the county?
Since I started in January, yes.
Okay. Are we bringing your whole department back under the county, or just the employees, or what's the objective here?
Well, the objective is for the employees.
Just the employees?
Yes, sir.
Not the whole department under our budget and all that?
I'm not really sure how that works, sir. That would be a question you'd have to ask our auditor, I believe. I'm not sure how that works. I mean, I know you can't bring me back in because I'm a state employee.
No, I understand, but your whole department, then, if we bring you back in and create a budget like we used to have, then you operate underneath the umbrella. Your employees are under the county, you do purchase orders through the county for office supplies. We don't actually give you a check, it's within the bounds of our budget.
That is correct.
Yes. So there's we don't hand you a $99,000 check. Everything falls within the bound. I understand your salary is independent of all that,
Right.
and that's fine. So is that the objective, or is the objective just to get the employees under our health and retirement system?
Well-
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yes, sir, and I understand your question. I've always believed that the objective was the first thing you stated.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's
I could
perfectly
be
fine.
wrong.
And that's perfectly fine. I just wanted to make sure we're all
Right.
on that page.
And I think the confusion is, at the beginning, you had stated that they wanted them to come in just for the retirement, and now we're clearing this up, that you guys want everything in this.
Okay.
That's correct.
exactly.
So then we need to create a budget like we used to have for the DA's office.
That's correct.
Set up through their purchasing policy, all that kind of stuff. We need to create that whole entire piece,
That's correct.
You want the whole operating budget or just?
everything,
Everything.
everything.
So if we're gonna set up everything, that would require the funding from the contributing counties to come develop.
Yes.
Right.
All of the funding that they get from their other sources needs to be paid to Valverde County, deposited in that account, and then we create a budget funded off of that.
That is correct,
All of them?
Huh?
All of
Well, I mean, besides their special funds, I'm talking about
Right.
Kenny and Terrell,
And
their monies.
that's what I intend to do, Commissioner, if I may. What I'm trying to do, and I'm already talking to your counterparts in the other two counties, and so any monies that they're going to be paying to us, I'm going to instruct them from this point forward to make sure that it's payable to Valverde
Okay.
County for the benefit and sole use
Yeah.
benefit of the DA's office. In other words, if I don't have to receive them,
Yeah, no, that's fine.
if I don't need to get a check from you, it's better for me.
Yeah.
I would rather go entirely through the county, but again,
Mhm.
I'm trying to cooperate in the spirit of good faith and transparency, because as you well know, it's been like this for
Well,
5 years.
And we appreciate it, Mr. Baggy.
And we do, I
We do.
mean,
So we're doing the best we can. I would tell you again, guys, that I'm extremely proud of my office and the staff that I've been able to put together in 3 short months, and what we've been able to accomplish. if you'll ask any of our judges, I believe that they would state to you that they're very pleased with the results that we're giving them. So we're doing the best we can, and we want to continue doing that with everybody's cooperation.
Before we go on to the budget part, I was asking the county auditor questions about the numbers. The numbers that Mr. Bagley gave, I think both the auditor and the treasurer, I don't know, are not the same as what the cashier's checks indicate. So,
They are.
okay, you may want to ask Mr.
And I think the numbers that he gave us is what's been given to the DA's office since 2012.
No, I'm talking about the numbers he gave the county auditor.
Oh,
The sheet that was provided a few weeks ago, I believe there was 6 accounts on there, and it totaled close to 1 million. And the cashier's checks were provided to us, total 164.
That's reimbursement, man. That's pursuant to an item that was already approved,
Okay. This is the reimbursement
from the items that were approved on the agenda.
Item 48.
Item 48, March 13th.
so there was 164 reimbursement.
Yes.
And you're saying that's our full reimbursement for the last 5 years?
No.
Okay, all right.
the other funds that he has are forfeiture funds and stuff like that, if I'm correct.
That is correct, sir.
Those are handled a little bit different.
That is
They're
correct.
deposited with the treasurer, but they're handled completely different.
Well, they should have been deposited with the treasury.
Yes,
They
yeah,
were.
no, I understand.
But we're going
And
to take care of
that's not your fault, but those funds are handled independent of the county funds. They still have to go through our policies and purchasing and your procedures,
that. That is
but
correct.
they'll be set up in a special account as forfeiture funds or whatever they were, I don't remember. what
Yes,
they
sir,
were,
that's correct.
That will be,
The only caveat would be, or difference would be that those funds, again, they should be going through the county treasurer. However, those should be utilized for any discretion, at my sole discretion, what I deem fit. Now, I'll come through Commissioner Court and let you know what's going on if we use them, but that.
no, I understand. I mean, you prepare a budget based off of those funds at the beginning of the year, we approve it, and then you expend it based off of that budget.
That is correct, sir.
And have those monies been deposited to the
I
treasurer?
don't know.
Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, have you received any funds for deposit from Mr. Bagley to open up those accounts?
Except the ones that I just gave him.
Just the reimbursement?
And as I said, I have 2 cashier's checks. We're going to close out the other account. Those will be either transferred to GCB or to Bacon Trust, whatever you gentlemen would desire, and we can set up the accounts, making sure that both of you are on there as co-signers as well. I think that's pretty much what everybody is asking me to do.
Okay.
And I have no problem doing that. Just give me some time.
No, I understand.
Mhm.
Good job.
So,
Thank you, sir.
do we have a budget then, Matt?
Sir.
We do not, an operating budget, no, we do not.
The full operating and salary budget that we have to
We have
approve?
a proposed salary budget, we don't have a full operating budget, that was just a plug that I used to get that.
That's correct.
So, but that's covered in item 4.
We need to do,
We probably need to have an actual budget that both he and I can look at and look at the figures. He prepared one the last time that we were here, and we used it as well when we were meeting with you in private, sir. But again, some of those figures were just plugged in. Some of them may not be accurate. There's a couple of items on there that I didn't think were absolutely necessary. I'd like a chance to discuss that with Matt, and so we can go through that.
why don't you prepare a budget? We need to do a budget amendment at our next meeting.
I would think
to
so.
amend our budget,
Yes, sir.
to add this.
Yes, sir.
No?
Not necessarily.
And how are you gonna do it without a budget amendment?
Running through contingency.
We're going to need to talk about these things, a few of these things in executive session, so if you.
And Judge, I fully understand if these items have to be tabled, given the fact that I haven't been able to close out all these accounts. And again, that's my fault. I apologize for that, but we have been extremely busy.
Can we understand?
I actually do go to court quite a bit.
Can your office manager meet with the auditor and treasurer?
Sure. If that's what they're asking.
Mr. Rodriguez, would you like to talk to the office manager at the DA's office
Yes.
to help set up the budget?
Can
What we're gonna do is we're gonna receive these cashier's checks
Because that's,
and the DA.
Well, no, because if we're creating a budget, we don't need to write him a check.
okay.
If we're creating a budget under us, we don't need to write you a check for $99,000, it's gonna be handled under us.
Well, unless it's checked individually for me, but.
Well, that'd be a real short career. For both of us.
I do have campaign expenses, Commissioner.
So, Ms. Smith, do you want to go in executive session before we?
I think so. Just a call to the court's attention, you have an addendum, which is basically the same item as item number 5. Number 5 is more general, but it would include the
Yeah,
county's contribution.
that's why we want to table it till we execute.
Okay.
Okay, we will now go into executive session.
If I may, just before you do that, the last item that I gave you was just a report showing our percentages. On the second page, it'll show you the actual percentages. If I may, Commissioner, it shows on the back page, on the second page, on your columns. Use your pen, sir. It'll show you our percentages that we're at 92% at the adult and also the juvenile. This is as of today. We just printed this today.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
That's
Your
good.
goal is to reach at least what, one?
My goal is 95% before August 1st, and I think we can get there.
Right, is that it?
That's it for right now.
Okay, we will now go into executive session pursuant to the Texas Government Code 551.071, parentheses 2. 9:45, we're back in session.
Judge, I'll make a motion to table everything on this agenda and for the DA and his office people to meet with Matt and Aaron and come up with a budget for our next meeting, and that all checks handed to the treasurer to be deposited in an account and held until we can sort this out.
There's a motion second. Okay, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Judge, thank you so much.
Thank you.